Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm excited to be back. I'm glad people are already watching. This is really awesome. So I apologize for the big lapse. I went back to LA for a month and I was planning on bringing my computer and then it just fell through because I couldn't do it and I had to pay like $50 for shipping and yeah, it was kind of a mess. But I published an app to the App Store, which is cool. And yeah, anyway, I moved. If you notice, this is a new space. So there you go. Let me know. So it gets really hot in here. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but it's a little more soundproofed. I've got some soundproofing foam. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's my new office. So I got to get a fan in here. But so if you can hear the background noise, I apologize. We're doing live QA. Again, just toss out your questions. I'm trying to make a to-do list of some stuff that I've already seen in the questions tab of my if you go to my Discord, there should be a link on my channel and I'll post it later. And then I have a questions channel and then I try and answer these questions when I can. Over the last month, I was not that great at it, but I want to go through and just kind of go over these ones that I thought were good. Also, obviously, live questions are going to take precedence. Then we default to these questions. Then I'll go to Reddit and then I'll go to the Godot QA. So yeah, let's put this there. There's the to-do until people ask live questions, see anyone got something. Let me toss the Discord link in here. So, let's see, invite people. And there we go. Let me know if that pops up. Yeah, there should also be one on my channel, but I don't know. I just use that one, that should work. But yeah, we've got questions, announcements, general. Even if I don't answer your questions, a lot of people, we've also got Azayaga, who's really, really experienced and he'll answer your questions in here. And also Rungeons, I'm active in there too, so if you're already in there, I don't know. Let's exit out of that. I don't know if you guys heard about this game. Sorry, real quick before we start. It's called Tank Tactics. It never came out because it like crashed. There's a video on it and it like crashed a game company temporarily. Like, everyone really hated each other by the end of it, got super competitive. And so I was thinking that I do want to make a Godot version of this game, but a little less like, with a little less animosity. So it's just fun. But anyway, yeah, okay. So if no one's got any live questions, we'll start moving on to the questions on my to-do list here. So getting into that, let's see. Oh, nice. Thanks for joining, DJ Among Us. All right. All right, yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's asked any questions yet. Again, you guys will take precedence. Well, once I start a question, I'll try and finish it. But yeah, so the first one I want to do is by Harpuya, and he or she has asked several questions in here, and I've done my best to answer. And they're honestly like very good questions. They're questions that I stumbled on when I was starting out. So this one is really great. There's a limited number for health example, and she's doing this, right? Which is not a horrible way to do it, honestly, but there's a much easier way because Godot knows you're trying to do this, and that's using the clamp function. Let me actually really quickly do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then look, we already had some nice people. Azayaga's probably even more experienced than me, although we have a little bit different style, but he used the clamp function. So anyway, what I want to do is kind of probably go maybe to the first one, and I'll copy and paste this file here, so the colors final duplicate. Okay, let me see this. Why would it not automatically go colors? Example. Harpuya. I think I spelled that right, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, by the way, everything we're doing here, actually I don't know where it is. GitHub should be open. Ah, that's why. Is going to be on my GitHub, and I'll put that link. That's also on my channel, but I'll go ahead and post that link. So everything we do here is going to be on GitHub, so you can go ahead and just use it yourself. Also, all the past QAs are also on GitHub, so you can go ahead and check out those live QA sessions. And I've bookmarked them so you can check through if there's anything of interest to you, anything that you had your question. If not, you can skip it. If so, you can skip to it, yeah, what have you. So anyway, that's all right here. Let me post that link in here. All right. Yeah, I would. So I just started medical school, so I think I'm gonna have to put those dreams on hold, but I would like to keep up the YouTube channel, and probably there is a few games. Really quickly, I'll show you. So here are some of the games that I've made. Blackwater is the first game I made. It's totally free and completely finished, really fun. Lunar Bastion was a little tower defense game that it wasn't my favorite game to make, but it got a very good reception. It came in like 12th of the GitHub Jam or whatever it was called, or something like that. Submission for, what did I get? Oh, I got 17, and it was pretty good because I think there was like 500. Yeah, there were 500 people, so. It's a pretty good game. People really like this game. There's a lot I needed to fix, and it looks really, really cool. But yeah, again, everything's free to play. My most recent game was Solenoid for the Godot Jam, which I hosted. Really, really cool. And I think I do want to turn this into a full mobile game because it would be as simple as I made it so dynamically that it wouldn't be too hard to add new levels and new concepts and new stuff. It would literally just be, you know, kind of copy and pasting stuff until I find some more fun levels. But anyway, yeah, that link is also, I should just, again, link you to it. But the link for this is also in my description, or I don't know if it's in the description, but it is in my profile. I should definitely put those all in the description. But anyway, all right, let's head back to this. So I did the colors. Let's do this. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up the world scene here. Broken dependencies. That's weird. I don't need a spawn area in here. Oh, yes, I do, actually. Okay. This is player. Oh, that's weird. It looks like the screen size is notably smaller here. I don't know why that happened. We'll just fix that real quick. Or, yeah, we'll fix that. Okay. Project settings. If you don't know, this is how you change your window size. Something really interesting I didn't know is that the test width and height, they should really rename this, because the test width and height does not have to do with like, oh, just the test window. If you put the actual width and height to this and then you put the test width and height to double or something, when you export your game, it will go towards the test width and height, which is actually more beneficial than it is confusing. Well, I don't know if it's more beneficial than it's confusing, but it's very beneficial. So what we can do, it's already 1920 by 1080. Interesting. I think I'll just keep it at that then, and then I guess I will shrink all this stuff. Let's go to player, and then, oh, I kind of forgot how to like scale things, except for, I mean, this one, you don't forget, but 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, well, it's got some bugs here. Errors. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess because I copied and pasted this, there's a bunch of issues. Huh, okay. Ah, a bunch of dependencies to fix. That is super weird. I guess we don't need the spawn area. Okay. Maybe I should have just crushed it all from the start. Let's see. Any errors still? All right, can't preload source at path. Okay, let's do that. Sorry. This is usually not that big of an issue because it usually fixes these by themselves, but I guess not today. Not today, not today. Okay, so we'll go, we want this one. Okay, let's run it, see what else is broken. Cool, okay, so there's me, and I'm changing color. Okay, but it's not able to spawn enemies, and that makes sense. So, because I'm trying to generate a random position within the spawn area. Well, I kind of do want the spawn area now. So, this is something pretty cool. I came up with this. I was thinking I might put it on the, on the store here. We should actually just do this. Go here. Oh, how did I know? This is actually not 1920. That's really weird that it's not doing that, but okay. Divided by 2, there you go. And then we'll put the X position at 0. Nope, apparently not at 0. That's what we'll do. Something's messed up here. That's weird. Maybe it's because I updated Godot. Anyway. How can we change the game engine logo? I mean, when I run the game, it says made with Godot. I want to remove it and make it original. That's actually my very first video on YouTube, is how to do that. That's funny that you'd ask that. So I'll quickly show you that. So if you go on my channel, that's this video right here, which is making a custom load screen. And so you can see right here. But I mean, I'll show you if you want. You can just watch this video. But this goes into more depth on like how you make a kind of cool load screen. Like here's an actual load screen that is in a lot of my games. All right, just like that. Anyway, so the way you do it is you go to project settings, and then you go up to boot splash right here. So right now, if I go ahead and hit Command R, you'll see that the game doesn't work. Oh yeah, because this is forked. That's so weird. Why is that not open anyway? Okay, and then spawn area. Oh, is that why? That's super weird that can't do that. Cool. All right, let's save that. That was weird. Let's see if that breaks the game again or it works now. Should know pretty quickly because it should be spawning people. There we go. Oh, there's enemies. Okay. Anyway, that's what we need to do. But oh yeah, just hit my channel and it's the first video there. But again, so you go to project settings. Well, here, let's do that. So you see now it'll say Godot game engine. If you want to change that, go to project settings, boot splash, and then right here you can change the image. And then you've got several other options here. You can change the default background color here. So we can make this, I think this might just make it a full color, but I think it's going to keep the logo. Yeah, so it keeps the logo, but you can change the color. You can change the image, so I'll just put some image here. Let's see, do I have any interesting images? I don't think so. We'll just do that. So just as an example, we've got that right there. And then, yeah, so that changes the image. So obviously, in your case, you would want to change that image to look cool or whatever. But and then the other thing that I go into the video is like you can make the image match exactly the image after that. So if I run this, it'll give you this and then that, right? But you would have like a title screen that has the exact same image as your boot splash, so it looks really smooth and you really can't tell it kind of like changed in between, which is nice. But let me go ahead and get rid of that. And then, yeah, I'll keep that color. It's a nice color. Okay, cool. Anyway, so the point is right now, and I think what I want to do is go to the enemy scene. Enemy scene here. I guess we're just copying. Well, I can change the scene because it made a duplicate of the scene, I think. And the idea is I just want to transform the scale to 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, save that, and then again. If you don't, so the spawn area allows you to just stick this here, and they'll spawn within that area by the code I've made. So the point of doing this was so that now those enemies are moving really fast. But why does this look so laggy? Well, anyway, you can only hit. This was a game some guy came up with and asked me how to make, and I actually thought it was a pretty good idea. And so the idea is that you can only kill the guys whose colors match your own, but it looks like there's lots of problems with that. Anyway, so they can kill you, but I guess I don't have any way for you to die right now, which is actually perfect, because that's what we are going to do. So, they're essentially asking for something like, he was asking for, how would you do a death function, right? So what I have is this on area 2D body entered, right? And so all of these enemies have an area 2D here, and it's important to go to the collisions and make sure that they are on the layer enemy and they are masked to the layer player. And now I named these by going up to project settings, physics layers should be down here, 2D physics, and I named these. It's completely arbitrary though. You don't even have to name them. I just think it makes it easier. And then in player, if I go to my area 2D, it's the reverse. We are on the layer player and we are masking for layer enemy. Okay. Then I have the signal connected here. If we go here, body entered, you just hit this, hit enter, and then you choose that and click connect, okay? And I've done that. And so right here, whenever one of the enemies hits us, this function is run, okay? We have a variable called health. In this case, it's out of 3, so you have 3 health, right? And then you are subtracted a number of health by 1 if you hit the wrong color in this case. Okay, and then we have if health is less than or equal to 0, die, and in this case we're just doing the function dies just if dead, if not dead, dead equals true and queue free. And this just makes sure 1 that you can't queue free multiple times, which is good, and 2 is that it allows you to once you start putting death animations and cool stuff in your game, you can put all of that in your death function. So then you just call death or die, and then everything having to do with death happens. You know what I mean? You can have signals emitted or whatever. It just makes it a little cleaner so you don't have to have a bunch of code in this. Anyway, So this is how I would actually do depth. You actually don't need to use the function clamp, but I do want to cover the function clamp because it's a really, really helpful, important function. And I think I'll do that if, well here, I'll answer DJ Among Us question before I get the clamp. But the way I will do that is like, there's a really cool way that you can kind of make sounds appear farther or closer to you using the Doppler effect that we can simulate. But anyway, yeah, so you just say if health is less than or equal to 0, then you call the die function. And so the enemies right now don't have a way to say. So that shouldn't break the game though, because we should say, it says if global.player. Let's do this. Let's say if global.player and is underscore instance valid globals.player. Okay. Oopsies. Cancel. I just want to see if, ooh, why am I not able to move now? What is happening, dude? What? What the heck? Dude, I'm really confused. So there's a bunch of weird stuff going on with the window size. Because as you can see, it's 1920 by 1080, but it's clearly not. Like if we go into the world here, oh, that was why. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. So now I'm gonna try and die, and the idea being that, yeah, okay, now it doesn't crash the game. That's all I wanted to do real quick. Okay, all right, let's answer DJ Among Us's question. One more thing I want to ask, that how to remove command prompt that opens with Godot. I want to hide it when I export it. Which command prompt are you talking about? Here, let's open up one of my exported games here. If you could expand upon that. So we'll go here. We'll go to, did I do it for, we'll just do Blackbody. Okay, Blackbody exports, Mac, Blackbody DMG. Come on. Also, let me know if the sound, if you can hear too much background noise, if the music's a little too loud. I can change all that, obviously, if you can't hear me very well. So yeah, that's what happens when you open up this game Blackbody that I've exported here. So, you know, I definitely just go watch that video. That's the first video on my channel. And you can see how I did that. I see it looked really smooth. There's no Godot load image or anything like that. One thing I have found that works really well is actually just changing the image to be a blank image and just changing the color. And then I just have the color fade in from that color. So like I'll show you an app I've got called Fishbowl. So this is actually, I'll show you this. So this is the app that I published to the App Store recently, which was a pain in the butt. Oh wait, this is, yep. iCloud almost screwed me so hard, you guys. It synced. Luckily, I had just uploaded this to GitHub, and then iCloud deleted all of it. So I cloned the repository, but that was really close. That was so close to being so bad. Right before I was about to publish it, and there's no way to get that back. iCloud just ate it. Okay, so we'll go here, and it should be project.godot. So if I run this one, you can see what I mean. This is a really smooth intro. So like that, it just fades in from white, and you can see right here that I've got just a color rect that is blank there. And then so the idea is that it fades in from that white, and it looks really smooth upon load. Yo, what's up, Tofu Master? I'm answering questions live, so if you have any games or any problems, bugs you can't solve or anything, you're like, I wonder how I would do that, as long as it wouldn't take me an hour and a half, I will absolutely hop into that and do that. If you're live, you have precedence over the other people. Right now, what I'm doing exactly, I don't know if that was not your question, that was just like the dumbest thing ever. I was trying to answer the question of how to use the clamp function, which is really, really handy. When I run my game in Windows, a command prompt also opens, which is important, but it shows error that I want to hide. Oh, I think what you're probably doing then, if you go to the export menu here, you need to export as a release version, because, yeah, that's what it is. Yep, it's because you're exporting, yeah, in Mac it doesn't do that. But here you want to make sure you export as release. And I forgot exactly how to do that, honestly. But that is the problem. Custom templates, application. I think, yeah, that is the problem though. So you want to export as a release. I think you choose a template. Yep. Icon identify signatures. So I do export project here. I don't think it'll let me, but oh, there you go. You uncheck right here, export with debug. That's what you got to do. Yeah, because the debug is basically showing you all the error codes, everything like that. You shouldn't have errors, it should run smoothly. But so yeah, this is pretty handy. And it doesn't do it in Mac. Anyone who is interested who has a Mac, if you want it to show those things on export, you just have to open the app from the executive or the exec.exec file. So you go to the actual export, and then you hit you would right click and go to show package contents. Then there should be a file that says .exec. Open that, it opens it in your terminal. Terminal opens up and shows you that. Have I ever sold a Godot game? Yeah, Godot is great for commercial use, especially now. So I just put a game on the App Store. I haven't sold it because it's free with ads. But yeah, it's great for commercial use. One of the guys who I really enjoy, who's making a game, it's fantastic. His name's John Watson. It's actually cite Godot because John Watson is also the name of Sherlock Holmes' sidekick, so it's kind of hard to find this guy. But yeah, here, I'll go ahead and link his channel. And he's making a freaking sweet game called Gravity Ace. And Godot actually featured him because he's so great at it. And so he's gonna sell this game. You can see what the process looks like for doing that. Also, Heartbeast has put several games out for sale. He's how I learned how to code in Godot, and he's just great, really great guy. But yeah, so yeah, it's really great for making commercial games. I think there's no problems. And also, so if you go to the asset lib here, there's literally, look at it, it's one of the first ones here, the Godot ad mob. And I mean, it's just amazing. You literally just click this, download it. I contributed to it a little bit. I think I want to do more because it's still a little weird. You have to like download something and put it in your game file, which is like, you should be able to just get that automatically when you download this, which I think I can help do. But anyway, the point, oh, that's interesting. Why would you want that? Ad mob, and then you just put ads. It's literally as easy as one line of code where you want the ads and they pop up in your game. So that's pretty cool. I'm interested in this. So if you guys don't know, SQLite is like a data analysis language. So I'm wondering why you would use that in Godot. Making it possible to use SQLite databases as data stores. Oh, that's interesting. Still don't know why exactly you'd want that, but it's cool. Discord. Interact with the Discord bot API. Make Discord bots in Godot. Woo! That's sick. That's very cool, you guys. That is very cool. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'll put that in my Discord. I'll make a little game you guys can play in my Discord if anyone's interested. That is really cool. Okay, but yeah, so I want to get to the clamp function really quickly. And I think I'm actually using it. Yeah, I'm using it right here. So if you can see on my movement, I'm saying basically if we have input, so if I'm pressing any of the arrow keys, we're gonna start moving, right? Our velocity is going to increase by some amount. But then we're saying a velocity equals velocity.clamped max vel. So my max vel is a constant number, it's 1,000. And what this says is that my velocity in the X and the Y cannot get larger than 1,000 or lower than 1,000. There's also the function clamp, and clamp is for single numbers. So for instance, I could do, rather than in movement, I'll just put this in the physics process. If we had, for instance, well, I guess I need to I'll just use the score variable. So we'll say score plus equals 1. Okay, this is gonna happen in physics process. And we're going to say clamp, okay? And then we're gonna say value, right, which value we're gonna clamp our score with a minimum of 0 and a maximum, and a maximum of, we'll say, let's do 690. That we'll get there pretty quick, honestly. But we'll go ahead and print that, and then we'll print score. Actually, let's not make that. Let's just make this 69. Okay, and we'll print our score. Okay, and then so what we'll do here is if we go, you can see that it counts up to, I'm sorry, you have to do score equals. score equals clamp score. There we go. All right, then it'll get to 69 and then it just stays there. And that's great. So it's essentially what that does. And now if we set score, for instance, to 69, and then we set this to 0, right? I'm sorry, minus equals 1, right? We went ahead and did this. You can see it counts down from 69, gets to 0, and then stops. So that's how you use the clamp and clamped functions. Again, you're just putting, you have to, and that's a problem I still make and a lot of people make, is that you have to capture this value. So the clamp is a function that returns to you a number, right? It's like if we did print clamp, it would not get bigger than that, but we're not actually changing the value score. So you can kind of think about this as like, this is evaluating to a number that's right here. So if we get rid of this, right, it's the same thing as just writing a like 5 here, right? Like score does not equal 5, we've just written 5, right? So in order to make score equal 5, we have to say score equals 5. Because clamp is evaluating to a whole number in this case. Right, actually one thing I'm really interested in really quickly is to see if I modify this by a float, and we say plus equals, just make this 50, okay? What's gonna happen? Oh, did that not work? Clamp score 069. Interesting. What if we do 61.0? Oh, so that's good to know. I've actually never done that, but maybe it doesn't work with floats? Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't work with floats. That's cool. That's very good to know. Oh, nope. I'm a dumbass, you guys. I did it again. We need to write score equals that because we're not capturing. I just went through all this trouble to tell you guys. Okay, good. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, cool. So you can absolutely use it with floats. I just, failed my own lesson, right? Horrible teacher and student. But anyway, that's how you do that. So that's how you use the clamp function, hopefully, to have answered Harupia's question. So for one thing, let's go over here. Boom. Okay. And then I want to go ahead and let's see. What's the time? What is the time here? Should have time recording live for 34 minutes. So we'll go here. I'll say at 34 minutes. Yeah. Well, I think you put it like this. So you go 0, 34. I think that's how, yeah, because if you've noticed, all my other QA sessions are now bookmarked, so you can go, I think I've already said this, but so you can go to any of the QA sessions, and everything I cover in those QA sessions will be written down in the, right in the, well, whatever. In the player window, you'll see like, oh, he did how to make a health thing counter and how to use the clamp function will be blocked out. And you can just see if anything interests you, and if it does, you skip to it. If not, screw that video, but maybe give it a like. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, so what's next? Well, so I have the blink effect on the hit, which I think will be cool, and we can actually do that in this game too, which will be nice. Let's see. I feel like there was something. Oh yeah, I wanted to say at Arupia just went into health and clamp functions in Dev Live. Okay, cool. Just letting him know that I did that. And now I'd like to make the blink effect. So he actually has provided, he or she, I actually don't know, provided with a little GIF here that we can see. So when he gets hit, you can see that he blinks. Boom, there you go. And so sometimes they do this in white. It's actually easier to make them do it like that because we don't actually have to use a shader. We can just use the modulate property. So there's several ways to do that. And so what I'll do here is we'll go into player and we'll go down to wherever we have this function. And I'm gonna make a new function here. And you don't have to, you could just write it in, oopsies, what's wrong with me? You could just write this right wherever. So this is when we're hit, right? Else health minus equals 1, that's when we're hit. So what I'll do is I'll make a new function called hit. Okay, and we don't need any parameters. We're just gonna make it like that. And then what I'll do is actually just stick all this in there. Okay, and we'll say hit. Okay. Okay, so that is kind of the bottom line. And I'll do this, move that back. Okay, now what we want to do is go ahead and make it so our player actually blinks like that. So there's a few ways you can do that. I'm going to start with using a tween because I think it's the fastest way to do it. But it might not look exactly how you want. Tweens don't give you quite as much control, but there is quite a few tweens that I think would work well for this. So we'll go right here and we'll say onReadyVar tween equals tween. And so this just grabs this and stores it in its variable so we can use the functions of that tween there. And now what I'll go ahead and do is go down to hit. And I'm gonna set this up just like I actually already wrote it down here, how I would code that. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Okay. Let's see if this messes up all the, yeah, it did. I think it's using spaces. Cool, and then we gotta use that. Okay, so what I did is I did tween.interpolate property, and what this does is it takes one value and interpolates it to the next value by some time right here, in this case 0.6 seconds, and then you choose the type of tween you want to happen, and these are both relating to the type of tween and how that's going to look. And so I'll go over that pretty quickly. First off though, you choose the object, so it's affecting the player node, right? Is what I want it to do. And then what property of that player node? For me, I'm gonna do modulate. So if you can see, let's go, what's it? Yeah. So if we go over to our player and we go here to the inspector and go down to the visibility property and we go to modulate, I can change the opacity here, or opacity, and we can move that and that will make me invisible. So the idea is to like kind of have this go like that so it looks like we blinked and took some damage in our health. Yeah, so that's the idea there. So what we're gonna do here is go right here and yeah, so what this will do is this, I want to go ahead and open this. So this is easings. So this is easings.net. I use this all the time. I'll link it if you want, but it's literally just easings.net. And what this has, as you can see, is all the different kinds of tweens available to you and what they're going to do. So we're going to be using the tween ease in bounce, or ease in out bounce. So an ease in tween starts slow, then gets faster. Ease out starts fast, then gets slower, right? I use sine quite a bit. You have ease in out sine, stuff like that. And then we've got these bounce tweens, and these are getting a little more funky. Here's elastic. Elastic sometimes also works, but if you do an ease in out tween of a bounce really fast, what it does is it shifts the modulate property so much that it looks like it's kind of blinking, right? So this is one way. This is the quickest way that I think I could figure out how to make this. Oopsies, I'm supposed to go to the world node. Sorry, my dog's on my lap, it's just kind of going crazy. All right, so we need an enemy to spawn here. So yeah, as you can see there, he hit me and then I blinked. There you go. So I think that I would like that to be a little bit faster though, so we can set this like 0.4, see what that looks like. Anyone in the chat want to say something, yes? Oopsies, I did that again. Let's do that. Oh yeah, so as you can see I blinked there. Interesting. Oh, but that is a problem for this game. But that we can't actually change our the entire modulate property. We can only change because it's important for us to be able to modulate that in the game. So that's a fun little challenge, isn't it? I think we should be able to go to modulate.a, right? I think so. Because modulate.a should grab, if we go here, just right here, we should just be able to grab that. And then we should be able to take it from 0 to 1. Like that. Okay. But this might not work. So let's see. The dog. My doggy doggo dodo. That would be the chicken. No, that was actually 100% the egg. If you want to get serious there. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. The egg came first because Before it was technically a chicken, it was some other species. That species undoubtedly already had the ability to lay eggs. Thus it laid an egg containing what would be the first chicken. So technically the chicken came first. I'm sorry, the egg came first. And there is the literal answer to that question. Yo, what's up, Dimitri? How's it going, man? You got any questions? Fire them. Let's go. I'm trying to solve this problem. I've actually had this problem in the past as well, and that is that it has no property in modulate.a. This should work, right? So if I go up here to the ready function and I say print self.modulate.a, right? It's going to print our modulate property. But I think if I do also get, okay, and then so get again is how you can get properties this way. So self, I guess we actually don't need to do self, but self.get, and we'll say if we do modulate here, then that should print the entirety of the modulate right there. If we print modulate.a and do this, null. Interesting. Okay, what about if we do x? Null. Okay. Well, let's do Godot get oopsies. Godot get oh, dude, I learned how to do this. Get the properties. Huh. Get properties. Interesting. Oh, sub-property. There we go. Sub-properties. That's what it's called. All right. Again, anyone's got any questions, feel free to shoot that in here. I'm kind of interested to, why would it, no, obviously I want sub-properties. Get a property from a node path, Godot. Oh, is it? Okay, object.get indexed. Is it that? Do we do this? Is it that instead? Modulate a. Nope, that didn't work. What if we do modulate.x? Nope. Okay. All right. I see your challenge, and I raise you one attempt to solve that challenge. That is quite odd, isn't it? Object.get indexed. Oh, get the object's property indexed by the given node path. The node path should be relative to the current object and use the colon character to access. Okay. All right, so there's a whole new function. I think that's bad. Let's do it. Oh, that's why. Yes, okay, great success, everybody. So I think we should be able, if we go here, I wonder if I just change this to this, if it would work. Yay, what's up? Oh, no, that did not work. Anna course. I'm back, man, yeah. Oh, it's working. Lit. Okay, cool, so that's how you do that. I think I've solved this like 3 times on my own, and then I just forget it, because typically, I think they should really use this syntax instead, but that's cool. Anyway, and that's also interesting that you have to use this function get indexed. So yeah, also say that is a separate issue. So let's see, what time is it? Oh, I forgot. Now I'm gonna have to. Okay, so we have, how long have we been recording? 45 minutes. Okay, so blink effect hit, solved at 45 at 0.45. Cool. Yes, Anakos, I am back, man. It's actually good to see you. You joined my Discord, you've been in there. Oh, let's go ahead and queue a sessions, and let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So, hi. Okay. Cool. Push origin. All right. Again, that should be in the description. Let me just check. No, it is not in the description because I am a fool. Aha. Okay, I'm actually gonna drop all my links that are important in the description here. So we'll say GitHub. Okay, GitHub, and then we'll do my Discord link. Discord, and I'll do itch. Oh, well, I mean, I can just do itch.io right there, right? Nope, I'm a fool. Why would I think I can do that? Obviously, that's the main site right here. We want to go to acpgames.itch.io. Itch. Cool. All right, there we go. And I'll hit save. All right, now that should all be in the description. PNG to icon file. Yo, what's up, Low-Tech Linux? Oh, nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That is very, very cool. I'm hoping to be at least active on these live streams. I've just started medical school literally yesterday. So making videos takes a lot of time, but these are nice. You know, I'll probably do this for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then I can just answer questions, keep myself up, and then maybe I'll live stream when I make some games like I've got right there. Probably shouldn't have my email available on this, but yeah, please don't email me. I have an email if you want to reach out to me on my channel. Obviously, deleting it now is pointless, but yeah. Yeah, man, I was also making a calendar app. Here, let me see if I can pull this up here. But I gave up on it because I just started using this other calendar app that's honestly not as good as what I wanted to do, but it's a lot of work and stuff like that. I do think I'm gonna make an add-on where you can send notifications from Godot on Mac OS at least. I think it's already built in for Linux and for, not Android, but PC. But for Mac, you can't send notifications. So here, let's go to this, and then it should be calendar, project, organizer. Okay. And so you can run this. Yeah, and so it makes events, you can do this, and then I think, did I make it A? No, you should be able to add events, but yeah, so the events will stay there and like it's cool, and it loads the different weeks, and it calculates, these are real-time, like correct dates and stuff like that. So that's nice. Yeah. Okay, anyway, that's how you do that. But yeah, so I was thinking about doing this, making it a little prettier, but yeah, you can totally make apps like that, which is cool. But anyway, so I'm going to make an add-on. I shouldn't say I'm going to, I would like to, and I know how, in theory, how I would do it, to make an add-on where you can actually send like good push notifications that show up here in Apple and stuff like that. So yeah, you basically make a Python script that runs on the base Python that comes with every Mac computer, so that way you don't have to package it in. And then there's a Python library that allows you to send notifications to the Mac OS. So I would just make a script, attach it to Godot, and then all you would have to do is say like Mac notif.notify, and then you would say like, you know, title, subtitle, image, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, stuff like that. How to make an add-on? Man, you are asking all the right questions, my friend, because I have another video on that. I'll go ahead and link that here. It's definitely more of an advanced thing to do, but I've got a pretty solid tutorial on how you would do that. It's actually, I don't think it's like incredibly difficult.
Hey everybody, Editor Inspector plugins.
Well, actually, so this is technically a plugin. This isn't just an add-on. And then I also have my very own add-on. So if you go to the asset lib, and I think it's, yeah, here it is. So the Particles 2D Plus, which is just an easy way. I have a video explaining what this does. If you go here and look this up, you can click this and it'll take you to my the video. And anyway, this is, yeah, I've got a nice description there on how to use it and whatnot. But yeah, so it's actually really easy to make an add-on. You go to the asset lib, Godot asset lib, just like that. And then you log in, or register if you don't already have one, and then you can submit, and then it's right here. So here's the entirety of the asset library. Pretty cool. I only have one right now. I'd like to make that one, and then I want to contribute a little more. I've already contributed to this one. So I made a video on how to use AdMob the old school way, where you had to compile it yourself, and it was a mess. And the guy went ahead, and the same guy who made that thing, put it into this beautiful little add-on that you just can go to the asset lib and get right here. It's on the front page right now because it's so awesome. You just download it and it's easy as crap to put ads on your game, so yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, but yeah, I definitely, I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot of questions that I had myself and thus made videos about, so definitely, you know, scroll through, see if there's any cool stuff on my channel, and then, you know, let me know if there's anything you really want to see, and I'll try and do that. But yeah, so very cool, very cool. Let's see, I've been experimenting a weather app. Cool, you could definitely make a weather app with Godot. I mean, they've got a lot of cool stuff built in for HTTP requests and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's definitely a good learning project too. I'm hoping to use Godot to do stuff like that in the future. Okay, so sorry about all that. What I'd like to do now is kind of start, unless anyone else has any questions here, I'm going to start going through the Reddit and Godot QA, and then, well, I guess I should probably actually look through my questions to see if there's any more that I think would look good. So there's the blink effect. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't show how to do it with the animation player, but it's very easy. Okay, so I'm trying to spawn enemies on the screen and move them to a certain position, but I cannot figure it out. I'm sure it's easy. I forgot which Q&A I did, but there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I did it in one of my games, so you can go check out my live streaming of how to make Missile Command. I do it there, and then also I've got a live stream that shows, and I've got it right here, how I made this spawn area. So again, this is in my GitHub, so you can just go grab this, but essentially the spawn area has functions in it that just generate a random position. So here what I'll say is I'll do when the timer out, I want to spawn an enemy at and put its global position to spawn area.gen random position. And so again, that's calling the spawn area, which is this node here, and then spawns a random position. And so for instance, if you wanted to put this around all the outsides, you would have to make 4 of them as it is right now. I still want to figure out how to make like a hollow one, because obviously that would be the best, that would be ideal. You don't want to have 4 different shapes, although it's really not that hard if you did want to. And I could show you how to do that, but yeah. Actually, you know what, let's do that real quick. I think that would be fun and cool to do, so I'll do that. So the spawn area, I'll quickly go over how this works, and let me make note right here. So I'm gonna make random spawn areas, okay? And then we're starting that at 54 minutes. Okay, if you can hear my pug snorting, congratulations, you've won. Okay, so this is one spawn area. And so again, I'll really quickly go over how this works. If we go into the scene here, this is just an area or a shape 2D, and I have not assigned it to a collision shape or anything like that, because that's not the point. Oh, that is why. Yep, that's why, my friends. That's why this was not working. Cool, and then what if I do this now? If I go back, oh, sorry, not that, but I want to do this. 0. Oh, ooh, that's odd. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do spawn area. Cool. Oh, that is so weird, dude. So weird. Cannot tell you why that is. Literally can't tell you. Anyway. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in this Godot project, which is kind of a pain, but anyway, the point is that everything still works. It's just a little more handcrafted, we'll say. It's a little more rustic. So, what I do is I have a collision shape 2D. I have 2 onReady variables. If you don't know what these are, onReady variables, go ahead and check out my Godot GDScript for non-coders course, and it'll show you, but really quickly what they do is when the node is entered to the scene tree, it then creates this variable. So what it does here is the spawn area, we're gonna get shape.extents. So that will grab right here our shape property, and then it grabs this, extents. So it'll get the size of the rectangle essentially. Then we have onReady var origin, right? And this is going to go ahead and find the center of the, it finds the center of the entire thing. Or is it, no, it finds the top left, by doing global position minus the spawn area. Because the global position is right here. Is it? Is this the global position? No, this is the global position. I guess it's, oh, interesting. shape.extents. Oh, yes, that's because this is already divided by 2. That's why. Okay, cool. Just figuring that out. So the reason is because, so for instance, the screen right now is 1920, but when you size this, it sizes in both directions. So thus it's already split in half. If we go to the extents here in the X direction, you can see that it's already half. So that's why we only have to subtract our global position, which is the center, by our extents, and that will put us right here in the left corner. Anyway, so that's what that does. Then what we do is gen random position. We say var x and y, and then we're going to return an x and y value as a vector, right? Our x value equals a rand range between our origin x, meaning the farthest point left in the x direction, and spawn area x, the farthest point right in the x direction. And then, of course, we do the same thing in y, the farthest point upwards in the x direction, or y direction, the farthest point downwards in the y direction. And then that gives you so that something will spawn somewhere within that spawn area. I really should just put this on the store, but I think I wanted to do more with it before I did that. Anyway, the way I would do this, if you wanted to make this around here, is we'd go ahead and I'll add a node 2D, okay? And I'm gonna make the child make the spawn area a child of the node 2D, okay? And I'll name this spawn areas, okay? And then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is duplicate this thrice, and we'll go ahead and put this down here, nice, and we'll put one of these right here, and one of these right here. Now there's ways to make this more perfect for sure, but I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, and then what we can do is go into these guys and just change their extents manually. So I'll change the Y to be 9, or so it's 1980 by 1080 by 1920, so 1080 divided by 2. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, we'll do this then. Right click this and we'll click make sub-resources unique. And that was happening because this shape was the same shape used in all of those. There we go. So this will be 1080 divided by 2. Oh, sorry, this should be 1080 divided by 2. And this will be like that. Okay, and then we can stick this right here. But I do think I want this to go a little bit so we can have corners, so maybe I will just do something like that. Now we can duplicate this shape and then move it right over here, okay? So now we've got these 4 spawn areas, okay? And then what we'll go ahead and do here is in the world function, so right here again, once the timer times out, it makes an instance of our enemy and then spawns it somewhere in the spawn area. But now we have to change this a little bit, so I'm gonna change this to spawn areas. I'm gonna go ahead and comment this out just for a second. And then what we're gonna do here is say spawn areas dot get underscore children. So what this does is this returns a list of all the children of access to all of these nodes. Then what we're gonna do here, and I think I'll make a function right here. Yeah, we'll do it. I'll do it here. What I wanna do is select a random position from, or select one of these randomly. So what I'll do is I'll say spawn areas dot shuffle. Okay. And then what I'll do is right here I'll say var spawn area equals spawn areas 0. Okay. So essentially what I did here is this returns to us a list of all the children right here. So I'll return all these 4 spawn areas, all these 4 shapes. Then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is right here, we're gonna shuffle that list, okay? We're gonna shuffle the list of all those, so that way we don't know which spawn area is which, right? So any of these spawn areas could be at the first position in the list. In fact, what I'll do here, just to visualize this, I'll say print spawn areas, okay? And then I'll print it again here after we do shuffle. Okay, well now I have to wait for the timer to time out. But the idea is that it shuffles the list so that way you're randomly selecting something from the list. So as you can see right here, before it was shuffled, the first area was this one, and then the second area was this one, a different area, one of the other ones. So the idea is now, because all of them have that same function, right? This is gen random location. we can just use that right here by saying, now that new spawn area is that, and we say spawn area.gen random position. And then we add child at that. So here we're setting the enemy instance below position equal to whatever that generated. So sorry if that got a little lost, but yeah, that's essentially how you do it. If you guys have any questions about that or any other questions, again, feel free to drop them down below. Otherwise, I am gonna go ahead and move on to some other QA questions in here. So let's go ahead and do that. So this was random spawn areas at 4, and then we'll figure out what else we want to do. Okay. So this is actually a really great tutorial. It's by Plug World. Cool guy. Okay. I want to make it so that if is on wall and input dot, well actually first let's go ahead, tungsten tornado. Okay, I'll just do this. Okay. At tungsten tornado just answered your random spawn question live. Okay, cool. Lit. All right. Okay. Ooh. You wanna go down, Bubba? Everyone say hi to Beanie. Oh. Okay. So I want to make it so that if is on wall and input that is action pressed move left. I forgot what those double lines in there. I think it means or. Yeah, it means or input that is action pressed move right. Then is grounded equals true. Okay, so that's weird. So if is on wall, this is a lot of code. So if you're on the wall and we move, that's weird, move left, or okay, if we're on the wall and you move left or right, then is grounded equals true. Okay, I see that. So I don't understand because it looks like that's exactly how I'd have done it. But let's see. Feel free if you guys want to hop into my Discord again. The link is in the description and post some of your code. Like if you don't want to post that here, it's too much. Again, nothing has shown up after DJ Among Us. YouTube doesn't really tell you when your comments don't really show up in here, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, just so you guys know, DJ Among Us said thanks, and that's the last thing I have seen. Okay, so. Get H weight. Interesting. This is it looks like it's overcomplicated for what he's trying to do. Raycast equals raycasts. Okay. Ready, maximum equals square root. Whoa. Yeah, you should not be doing this. Yeah, I mean, this should work. So if I don't know if you made the function is on wall. Let's find it. Oh. Is underscore on underscore wall. Alright, dude, that's annoying. Interesting. So there's no function is on wall function. Because I don't think there's a. Let's go to our player here. Say is underscore on. Okay, cool. So there is on wall built in. There's is on wall, is on ceiling, is on ground. You have to give it the direction, but okay. And then he's doing this grounded, but that should be true. If is on wall and this, or oh, okay. So the problem, I don't know if someone already answered it. Yeah. So the reason this is a problem, and this is actually just not understanding if statements correctly, is that this should be written. So I'll go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'll just do it in commented out code here. I'll do this. Okay. And then I'll use the UI underscore left, UI right. Okay. And then I'll make this be a function or a variable here. Okay, cool. So we'll say that, and then this should be like that. Okay, so the problem, for one thing, just in case anyone's confused, that is an or, and that's because you need to do this. You need to either write this twice or do this. Okay. So what this will do essentially is, because when you were doing it before, what was happening is you're asking for two scenarios. One is this, and the other is this. So the problem with that is that whenever you press right, you are going to be grounded. By putting these parentheses here, what we're saying is now there's still only two things we're evaluating, but it is if you are on wall and either of these is true, right? And then the other way you could do this, and this is something that confused me when I first started, is to say is on wall. Okay, in that. So that's how those are the two ways you can write this. I prefer the parentheses way, although either are fine. So that's how you would do that. So yeah, I'll say that I answered that. That's just a quick bit about if statements, and that's something that might confuse anybody who followed some of my tutorials, is that I tried to go over that a little bit, but getting into the nitpicky bits of if statements, I mean, that's just something that takes a little bit of time and experience. But yeah, cool. Okay, help, this is like, when you don't press space but fall on a platform, then jump a mountain, no go down. But I want it to. When you don't press space but fall off a platform, then jump a mountain does not go down. So I'm imagining, just from looking at this other code, that he's saying that so it should be, if not is on floor, then you apply gravity, or you apply gravity at all times. So motion.y plus equals gravity, okay? Motion equals move and slide, motion up. I don't see where he's actually applying the motion here. I think he cut that out, which is a problem. Because he probably just doesn't think that that's part of the problem, but you should definitely include everything, because that's almost certainly the problem, right? Because right now you have motion. Oh no, you're capturing the value, so that should be fine. Motion equals, I don't know why, I would never do this. I never capture that. I would just say move and slide. Move and slide motion up. Wow, did he make something called up? Okay, I would just put that right here, or make this a constant. But, okay, vector2.up you can always use. Vector2, yeah. Move and slide motion up. Where is this breaking? So we should always have the gravity applied. There's got to be somewhere where we're setting motion y elsewhere. Equals max jump height plus equals gravity. Gravity equals 20. Okay. How to make a grid of texture buttons. Yeah, grid container. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because I don't think he's given me all the code, but that should be working. If you jump, you increase your motion in the Y to the max jump height. I imagine these also should be constants, by the way, but he uses variables. It just helps. Negative 650, yeah, so you'll jump up, and then you should start coming back down. If you fall off a platform, you should keep falling, so based on this code. So, I don't know. I don't want to stick it in because it seems like a lot to do. How can we create an 8-facing directional movement? Okay, yeah, let's do that one. So, jc-gamedev.ph. I have all doubts solved though. Okay. So I have a question in 2D top-down. How to create an 8-facing directional movement? Yeah. So, I mean, we can just do it real quick in our player script, right? So right now, if we run this, our player does not face any direction. But what I could do here, very simply, is to just say, right, in our movement function, and actually, let me go ahead and get the timestamp. So it is 1 hour and 11 minutes. So 8 facing movement at 1:01:11. Okay, cool. 8 facing movement. Okay, so, and then let me go ahead and post this in here so he knows. At JC. Is that JC? Oh, I always do that. JC, yep. Answering. Is that right? Yeah, that looks weird for me. Your movement. Question live right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the easiest way to do this by far is to use the built-in Godot function called lookat. And lookat essentially just makes whatever you call it on rotate to face whatever direction you give it. So a lot of times people use this with mouse, right? So I'll show you how it's very commonly used, and I think it makes it really obvious how it works once we do this. So what we want to do is probably do something like, well, we'll do it right here. I'll put it right here. So say lookat, and then we'll say get underscore global mouse position. So get global mouse position, right, is going to get the position of your mouse in the game. So if we call this right now on our player script, you can see that my player now looks at my mouse. Okay, just like that. And that's literally it. But what this is doing is setting our rotation to just equal whatever direction this is. Now I've had to do it where the lookat function doesn't cut it, so you might need to do other things, but essentially the way you would do it here is we'd say equals look at input vector. Wait, no, I don't think that, I think I did it differently, but I think, so if you look at the input vector, the problem is that I think it's going to be using, lookat might be looking at the global position, or I'm sorry, yeah, the global position. Yeah, okay, so what we want this to do is look at the local position of the input vector. Say plus global position, that might work. Yep, that works. Yep, there you go. I thought that would be way more difficult. But yeah, as you can see it now, whichever way you face, it does that. Now, what you also might want to do, right, is not have it so that when he goes this way, he's upside down. And all you would have to do there is then say if self dot, say if rotation is greater than, so rotation should be, or we could just use rotate. Nah, we'll use rotation. If rotation is greater than, oh, we could say if rotation in range, okay, and then we'll say, so we need 180 or 90 degrees, I think. Hold on. Godot unit circle. Rotation is such a bitch in Godot. Fuck it, we'll just say unit circle. And then figure out how Godot's works. Because they don't use the traditional unit circle for rotation in Godot. I have no idea why. But all right, so pi over 2 is going to be typically this way, but I don't think that's how it works. I think it goes negative 180 and then positive 180. So if it's, that's why. I remember that being pretty irritating, actually. So if rotation in range, pi over 2 to negative. So pi divided by 2 to negative pi divided by 2. Okay, then print pi, and I just want to see if this is doing what I expect it to do. It's not doing what I expected it to do. So, say, getting a robocall. Okay. So I would like to do this. That's odd. What if we make this 10? Yeah, so that's, oh, because it only uses whole numbers. That's why. Okay, fine, we'll do it. Let's see, Godot range function. This is not the right one. Range is a base class for control nodes. Yeah, that's not what we want. GDScript range. Okay, that's what we want. So I guess there's no, it's weird. There's no, you can't do a range. Oh, that's because you, I'm so dumb. Obviously you can't do a range of decimal values because there's an infinite number of decimal values. If you do range 0 to 1, there's an infinite number between those, but maybe, is there not a step? You should be able to do step. Right? Oh, Jesus. No, no. Oh, it's GDScript. Okay, you can do step. Okay, cool. So that might be it. Let's do print range 0 to 10 and then do 0.1. Step argument is 0. Okay, so you can't do floats. That's a bummer. All right, never mind. That would make this easier. Apologies for that. Let me see. I need to okay, I have a doubt. How to make rigid move where it is facing rigid body 2D. I want to learn the steering function. Yo, what's up, Harpuya? Yeah, I answered your question, or two of your questions. They're great. So yeah, you can launch those if you please. If you have any other questions, toss them in here. I'm gonna go ahead and try and finish this one really quick, and then I'll get to answering your question, DJ Among Us, about how to move a rigid body. Rigid body. You really shouldn't be moving rigid bodies though, but yeah, am I thinking right? Rigid, oopsies, wrong one. Yeah, oh no, you can move rigid bodies, yes. I'm sorry about that. It's gonna be exactly the same though. You would do this, you would just say the look at function, or if you actually have animations, then you just have the animation go. Those are the two ways you can do that. So we say if rotation in range, this is gonna change. Essentially when you say if rotation is greater than some amount, so if rotation is greater than pi over 2, I believe, pi over 2, or rotation is less than pi or negative pi over 2. Print hi. Cool. All right, that might be working. Okay, but I really quickly do want to do this as a test. Else print. Okay, so we're going this way. So if we go this way, it should say hi. If we go this way, it should say that. Okay, cool. So that's what we know. So we go here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, oh no, I think we should be able to do, let's see, can I pick something? Oh no, I didn't, okay. So I'll do this, I'll say sprite dot flip h equals true, else sprite dot flip h is false. Oh, I'm sorry, this should be flip v. There we go. Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, because if you go horizontally, obviously, that's not going to change anything. Oh, and that's because we're going straight up. It's a little confused about what our rotation is. So I could set that a little bit better, probably. But as you can see there, it looks pretty good. And then you can kind of fine tune that if you want. Because you see we go straight up, it sometimes will flip right in between those values. That was weird that it did, actually. Oh, because if you went like this and then went like that. Interesting. That's really weird. But it wouldn't be too hard to fix that. We would just have to change these values a tiny bit. That shouldn't be happening. That's definitely a problem with Godot. But anyway, that's how you would do that. So input vector plus global position. This is all good. That's all good. All right, cool, cool. So we just finished that off. Dir Facing Movement. Boom. Cool, cool. Oh, why, thank you so much, DJ Among Us. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I can help people. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay. Dir Facing Movement, and commit to main. All right, and now that's up on GitHub as well. Nostalgic Leaf, what's going on? Maybe is greater than or equal to would do it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, man, if anyone's got any questions, please, you guys get priority. I think that's actually all the questions in my Discord. Yeah, that's all the questions in my Discord. So, let's see, anyone posted in general? Oh, Skill School. Why does it not give me the wave? I use it all the time. I don't get Discord sometimes. There you go. I like the wave emoji. Okay, okay. Coco, there we go. Oh, Dev Nugget, the cutie. Ah. Okay. Probably should, but I want the heart emoji. Okay, this is too much work. Anyway, yeah, they put all the emojis that you can't use first because they want you to buy their crap, which is like that's a bother to me. But anyway, so now we're gonna move on to, again, the Discord link is in my description. Up to your eyeballs and work. Well, that sucks. I'm about to be there myself, my friend. I mean, just let's go ahead. Maybe I can show my schedule. It actually does not look that awful this week because that's hence why I'm making this. But like, okay, so also I guess it's not doing that. I should not be also learning Spanish while I'm in medical school, but I am. So go over here. That doesn't even look that bad either. But I do have to do 12 hours, I think, worth of lectures this week. So I have to find out how to spend 12 hours and stick that in here. Also this, where is it? Live quiz, probably do that night. Anyway, yeah. This is an app called ClickUp. It's free, but I'm thinking about buying the full version. It already is screwing up, it looks like, though, because there should be something. Oh no, this is, yeah, okay, this is right here. This will be on both days. So that's, I mean, honestly, it doesn't look that bad to me, but everyone tells me that it's hard, so look at that. QT. Okay, let me put this back over here. I have my second display now. Oh, dude, I really wish I could show you guys somehow my new setup, because it's pretty nice. I like this place a lot. I've got also, it's so quiet. It's amazing. Except it gets hot as hell in here. So I bought a fan, but then that kind of almost ruins the point because then you can do it. But for recording videos, it's nice. Okay, let's read this. Any knows how to use Godot in med school? I actually have a lot because I want to make like programs that will make stuff easier. Also, I'm thinking about making programs like for patients that people can, like, for instance, get information. People can like communicate with their doctors. There's a lot of different applications I have, like ideas for using Godot. But I think honestly the best way will be for researchers, because researchers are like hysterically one-minded, like medical researchers. They know so much about what they specialize in, and then everything else, it's like you literally would think you're talking to somebody with an IQ of 4. Like, it's unbelievable. So like, to make a really dumbed down thing that would like do things for them, I was thinking about using Godot to make an interface to search through previous research and make it really easy for them. Maybe use AI in some way. I really have always wanted to learn how to do AI, but I don't know if I'm going to do that while I'm in med school. But anyway, yeah. One thing I've wondered about is having light and shadows on multiple layers of 2D tile maps. Ooh, interesting. I actually have not used the lights with tile maps yet. So multiple layers though, I think it's as easy as, so if you go to tile map, the tile map thing, so we go, let's just add this to the world here. Add a tile map, and then show, because like when you add these, you can choose the light mask. Like, what do you mean by that? One thing I've wondered about is having light and shadows on multiple layers of 2D tile maps. Light and shadows on multiple layers of 2D tile maps. Oh, I see what you're saying. You would just need to make, yeah. In order to do that, you would just need to copy and paste, like just make 2 tile maps and put one above the other. Or you can use, you can put them on control nodes and then change the layers of them. Actually, no, I think you can change the layers. You can change the Z index. So we'd put this one at 1, this one at 0, and then the shadows from this one would then cast onto the other one. Just make sure you have your occluders set correctly. Yeah, and that should work. I remember almost getting into a stomach surgery simulator for learning with VR. That's crazy. That's very cool. Stomach surgery. Okay, so I'm gonna hop into the Reddit now. Again, saying it again, all the links are in the description for the GitHub as well as my Discord. How to recreate the whole mechanic from Donut Country. Oh, I read that as like how to recreate the entire mechanic from this game, and I'm like, it's a big ask, but no. Hey, I'm working on a personal project would like to include a mechanic like the hole in Donut Country. I'm quite new to Godot and currently using tutorials to guide. I couldn't find any guides for this help, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you could try CG Mesh. What is Donut Country? Does anyone else know what this is? Because I had no idea. Cool game. Oh yeah, this is like hole.io. Oh yeah, dude, this is a very, very done mechanic. But trying to think about that. I think it's actually not as easy as you would think. I'm almost certain you need to use shaders to do this. Well, here, let's open that back up again. I don't even know what a CSG mesh is. You could try load a CSG mesh or simple CSG box. The floor and donut seems flat, and then use a CSG cylinder in subtract mode. Of course, use rigid bodies. I don't know what a CSG mesh is. Oh, it's a 3D thing. That's why. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so in 2D, I don't think there's a ton of great ways to really do that, except for to potentially have a space, and then you would just color it as the background. I know it's not easy to do something like that. I did something kind of like that in, if we go to my HGame. So the way I immediately thought of is this. It's kind of a cheat and it wouldn't work for everyone, but let's go ahead and just run the game here. Oh, I have no idea. I've never used 3D or anything like that. Okay, let me know if the volume's too loud. So if you look at this drill right here, well, this looks better than I thought. You can see it looks like it's kind of going underneath this into the ground. And it's actually so funny Because the way I did that is I literally just, this bar right here is a separate sprite, and it has like a bit of the moon here. So whatever is this surface, just replicated right here. So that way it looks like the drill's actually just behind that sprite. The graphics look much better than I even remember on this. Maybe because I didn't have a 4K display before. But yeah, this is a cool game. Yeah, I know, definitely about to die, but cool. Free to play, of course. That's another game I probably should have finished, but I was just so over it by the end of that thing. But anyway, okay, so there's that. Yeah. So I'm not going to answer this question particularly because it's 3D, but how would we implement edge gradient? Is there a way to edit multiple spatial materials at once or to have inheritance in spatial materials? Again, that's 3D. Whoa, that's cool. That's very cool. I haven't messed with random level generation at all, but I would love to figure that out. Hey there guys, I'm creating a multi-measure instance, 3D. What does POSMod do? POSMod, I've got to understand what POSMod actually does. I don't understand any expression. Could you explain to me? It's a variant of module operator that does what a lot of people need and sometimes expect from the normal module operator. The normal module operator basically does the following. It really equals a minus trunc. This has counterintuitive behavior in negative numbers instead of wrapping back to values below. Yeah, I'm not going to get in that. It's a handy function. I think I used it in like one of my time things. It was really handy. Problem with rotation. I'm developing a third. It's 3D. I should really learn 3D, but I just don't want to. I didn't get into this to learn 3D. Okay, looking for a better way to show animations in RichTextLabel. Okay, helping improve shader. Blah blah blah. Not great at shaders. A sort of command line that shows the user's background input text and when specific strings are written, places a string with its specific animation. Shows the user's keyboard input text and when specific strings are written, replaces a string with its specific animation. Cool, yeah, you're right, it's fire. A fire animation replaces the text fire in the RichTextLabel. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. As explained in the docs, RichTextLabel is B, so it allows to insert an image using that. Loading images is very easy, but things are more complicated if you want to insert animations. After finding this, I came with the following unsatisfying solution. You'll have to use a RichTextLabel for text and a texture with an animated texture for the image. In the scene, I have a RichTextLabel displaying the user's keyboard input and a texture node. The texture node has an animated texture with the fire animation. Hide the texture. I have a RichTextLabel displaying under the user's keyboard input and a texture node. The texture node has an animated texture with the fire animation. The texture node has an animated texture with the fire animation. Okay. I hide the texture node so that it is not visible in the scene tree. When I save the scene in this .tscn file, I see the texture resource with the fire animation. I see from the above that this sub-resource has ID 5, therefore I use BBC code. Interesting. To show the animation, the risk of fire when it's typed. But looks very stupid to me on so many levels. If I could not find a better solution could be obvious. I'm not that experienced with Godot. Oh, I've just found a better solution. I saved the texture with the animation as a scene. I added a scene as a child of the main scene and used the following string to load it. Oh, that's sick. Okay, since there's only one sub-resource in that scene, the animation, I don't need to check which ID is the correct one for that particular animation. It's always going to be one. I think that's pretty good, because my solution was literally to have saved, like for instance, so he was having image path of the image, right? Was to have, like, if you have a fire animation and you've got 3 images, so it's just 1, 2, 3, right? Then what you would do is you would have like your your text, right? And you'd put it in physics process, and every physics frame, we'd have like some kind of stack responsible for knowing which frame each image was supposed to be on. So every physics frame, it would replace all of the text, including the new images, and it would just change the path to the images in each one of those frames. Horrible. But I think it would work just fine, but this is definitely a better way. I actually think this is almost certainly the best way. I'm honestly pretty surprised they don't have that added though. Like, it makes sense that you should be able to do that. But because you can put animated textures, you can make animated textures, and I'm surprised that if you just put the path to, I think he's actually making this more complicated. So I forgot, it was a tutorial I did. Let me figure it out. Actually, I'm really interested now. Do you have experience with the many texture types? Half of them I have no idea when to use. Stream, external, large, and mesh textures. So I don't know anything about mesh. I've actually never heard the other ones, but I don't know. I've really only needed to use I usually just drag and drop. So I think this is a stream texture, right? So I've used animated textures. I've used I haven't used large texture. That's interesting. No, I have no idea. Definitely haven't used meshed. Yeah, I've really only used animated texture and then whatever this is. That is the stream texture. Yeah, stream texture and animated texture. That's really all I've used. Oh, and viewport texture. When you do a viewport texture, it's literally just another viewport in the scene. And then, so it knows what's on the viewport. I have used that one. That's how I did, let's do this. So if you go to Godot code, and then we go to Godot Jam, project files, and let's open up the game. So it should open the 3D scene, I think. Yeah, okay, so you actually can't see it right now, but there is a viewport here, and then here we have a mesh instance, and the mesh instance is using, I guess it's using a quad mesh, and then is this doing it? One of them is using the viewport texture here. So it's projecting the viewport, whatever is on the viewport, that's what's considered the viewport texture. Skeleton. Huh. Weird. Odd. That just looks like someone misspelled load to me, but that's weird. I forgot exactly how I did this, but you can see the point of doing this, because if we go into the 2D world here, and then just run, I don't think this will work. Okay, no. But so this is basically like a flat 2D world, and then what I have here is, that's not gonna let me go in. Why? Okay. Oh, I never turned this on. Yeah, so this is a mesh that's tilted at this angle, as you can see, so it makes it look like 3D. But anyway, that's how I achieve like this kind of cool. It's 2D here, but when you play, you can see that the whole thing looks, because the whole thing is tilted, so it looks like it's almost pseudo 3D. So that plus these occlusion masks, this is entirely in 2D, and it really gives it a little bit of a 3D feel with those lights and stuff. Whoa. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can, that's how. Anyway, lots of stuff I still want to do this game. But yeah, that was a cool game. I think that's the game I'm going to try and turn into a mobile game. Hey, Cormai. Yeah, it's really simple to do. Honestly, once you, well, I mean, it was a little bit complicated, but once you figure it out, you just leave it alone, and then you just make the whole game in 2D essentially. So it's really chill. Okay, but yeah, that's crappy. But yeah, so that's really all I have experience with. Oh yes, this is what I wanted to look up. So if we go here and go into Godot code, I think, oh no, I think it's actually in this project because this is my testing grounds for other stuff as well. So, not shader practice, add-on, part of the MPC platforms. Nope. Mecha? Yep. Okay, yeah, so it's very similar though. So I have all of the different animation files for some docs. And so we can go here, and you can see that the docs are rising like this. And so I made a tile set with these animating. And so the way I did this, and I forgot exactly how, but I made this .trez file. And this .trez file is, that's weird, it won't, there we go, is an animated texture. So I think you click all three of these and you right click it. Nope, that's weird. I totally forgot how I did this. But essentially you take these, the separate images of some like tile sheet like that, or an animation set, and then what you would do, this was this was the art style I was considering for Mecha, if anyone has been around long enough to like know Mecha. That game I was starting to work on that I still think is a really cool game, but it's too big of a project, especially now. Anyway, so you take all three of these and you create, oh, I think you do this. That's what you do. I think you right click, and I think you can do like new resource. Yep, that's what you do. And then you click animated texture, and then that creates this texture. And then you come to the frames and you increase the frames, you can change the FPS, and then you bring these and click and drag these into those frames just like that. And you can change the delay and all that stuff like that. Then what I think you can do, well here, let's try it. Okay, enough talking, time for action. Okay, all right, cool. So let's go QA session, let's go here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a new, I don't need to add a new folder quite yet, but I think we're done with this for right now, at least. Okay, user interface, and then I guess I'll drop the stream. Oh, I don't have the stream link. I guess I do it right here. Nope, that's not it. Questions, there it is. Nope, I can just do this. Copy, okay. Trying out a live on my QA. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Why does that happen? Okay. Dude, what the okay. Whoa, guys. Whoa. Okay. Trying to solve this on my QA. Here. Dude, I'm so confused. What is happening right now? Did Reddit like just update their shit and fuck it up? Like, I don't understand. Okay. Here, we'll do it this way. Nope, that way. Okay, comment. Make sure that worked, and it did. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so the idea is, so we want to add a rich text label, okay, and then I'll go ahead and just make this like a little bigger here, something like that. We'll go to rect, we'll say 960 over 1080 divided by 2. Okay, and then we'll just center it, so we'll put the, I'm gonna put the pivot offset in 1920 divided by 4, and 140 divided by 2. Okay, and then we'll put the position here at 1920 divided by 2. And then 270. Cool. Okay. And then, well, we actually definitely should have just done this. Center it. Okay. Cool. So there's our rich text label. The don't think I'm gonna add anything special to it because the point is not that. So we'll add some text. Now, oh, we need to go to the BB code, okay? Hello, this is, okay, and then I've never seen this before, but this is how you add an image. Okay, like that, okay, and I don't want to enable it quite yet. This is fire. Sandwich, food. Okay, and then obviously I would like to change, because you can't see the text right now, obviously. Even there, it's like pretty terrible. So I have, oh, interesting. We have a mono font, new dynamic font. And here, I should have a font. There we go, JetBrains Mono, a great font. Like any other name, just as sweet. Okay, and we'll set this to, I'll just do ×3. Why is it not working? Oh, that's why. Why is it clipping it? Ah. Okay. What? Ah. Okay, top. Bottom. Ah, well, the opposite. Yeah, it should be top. Go. Nope, not doing anything. We'll go below. I give up. I don't know why that's happening. Oh, okay. Cool. It was just a bug. Okay. ×3. And again, it's so weird that that's happening though. Okay, so image path there. Okay, cool. Now, what we need to do is then generate the file here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new, let's go new folder, and we'll say rich text test terst, rich text terst. Okay, and then in here, what I'd like to do is say new resource, and we'll go animated texture, and then we'll say fire. I was not expecting, I totally forgot that I don't have a fire texture, so let's say fire animation, sprite, sheet. I want like a simple one, but it doesn't really matter. Really should play some rock. I dig it. Let's do simple. I want like a 3 animation. I really should not be spending too much time on this, but oh, dude, yeah, that's awesome. Yo, what's up, Sunset? Anakos, yeah, dude. They need a better default font, or at least some options, but two, it's weird to me that you can't, well, that looks really nice. You can't change the size of the default font. That's all I really care about. I don't care how ugly it is. I just hate that you have to add a font to change the size of it. That's insane to me. Do I have to make my own fire animation? I really don't want to. I really don't want to, except a GIF might be the best thing. Fire animation, GIF, simple. We need it transparent though, so we're gonna go to Tools, Color, Transparent. Hey, it's not a real GIF. Are none of these actually GIFs? Like, why aren't these working? There we go, that's what we need right there. Okay. So I'm gonna click Save, Image As, Fire. Save it to my desktop. I'm gonna grab it, stick it right in here. What? What? Why did that not work? Should be able to do that. Cannot do. Oh, okay. So we need to save this as a set of PNGs, don't we? Saving as TIFFs? That's not what I want. Why would it do that? Changing these to PNGs is not super duper easy either. Okay. Nope. Why would you think? I literally have an app called, oh, that's why, because it's not called VS Code. I just call it VS Code. This should theoretically work. This is something I made. Oh, this is FFmpeg. Yeah, it should work. Okay, yeah, let's do it. So, if I run this, this is a program I made. Enter the file type. Why is it not asking for where? Okay, so we want to convert from .tiff, convert to .png, enter path to directory of files. Dude, I don't know, isn't it just CD desktop? There. Okay. Oh, of course, but these all have spaces in the names, which breaks this program. There's a space there. Oh, we could do that. Okay, so yeah, I've already lost half my audience trying to do this, but I'm pretty determined at this point. Would you like to delete the original files after? Let's not. Hey, all right, I'm a millionaire. Anyway, yeah, so that's how that typically works. Now I can delete them. I just want to make sure that that worked. But yeah, so that's a little Python program I made. Very proud of that. And essentially it just converts all of one file type to another file type in some directory you give it. Here in case, of course, we've got these. So I'm gonna go ahead and click new folder, sick fire, and ims. Should get rid of the space there. Oh yeah, I guess I'm kind of dumb, but I didn't know that people made these fake flash drives. And I bought one, thinking it was real. I thought I bought a real terabyte flash drive. It's not, and it corrupted a bunch. I actually had mostly been done making some videos for the my Godot course for non-coders, and yeah, here are the videos, the raw. I just have to edit them. I recorded them already. It's in here. And I guess we don't need that anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, we got flyer texture right here. I'm gonna open that up. So this is gonna be 4 frames, okay? And then we'll open up these frames just like that. FPS is 4 currently, and then we'll go into these, and what I can do is then go fireframe 1, fireframe 2, fireframe 3. Oh, nope. Why would you do this to me? Fireframe 3. And the way I'm doing that is just double clicking on these. Okay. All right, so cool. Now we have a flyer texture that works. Oh, that's cool. You can do pause or one shot. Okay, so the idea here would be that we would then put the path to this file in our rich text BB code, and it might work. Let's see. Okay, so rather than path, right, we put the path to this. Oh, it's not going to let me do that. Okay. Can I do copy path? Yep. Copy path. Paste right there. Okay. Then if we do enabled, no, so close. Resource not found at file. Okay, QA session 07. Rich text test. Fire texture.trez. Oh, because that's not. Oh, dang it. Because that's not an image. Hold on. Okay, let's go. Godot BB code. Okay. All right, here we go. So we've got code. Makes text use the code font, typically monospace. Oh, that's cool. Center, URL, image, font color table. No, okay, so this whole idea doesn't work because it's .trez file. I mean, I can try doing trez. And then, why can I not scroll? Okay, so I guess trez isn't a thing. That's a bummer. It's a big old bummer. Wow. Well, I'm glad we spent that time doing that. Okay, how did he say he did it? I say the texture X with the animation as a scene. I don't need to check which ID is the correct configured animation. Interesting. Yeah, so curly braces. GIMP. Oh, is that what GIMP does? That would be nice. Okay, so that's a bummer. And that, I can't just drag that in anywhere, right? Can't really drag that. Nope. I don't know why it says file not found. It should give me an error that that's not an image file, right? Because if I give it this one, copy path, and then let me delete this there. Right, yep, and then I do this. Wait, what? What do you mean it's not found? It's right there, you fucking. Okay, well that gives me hope then. Resource file not found. This. Okay. So it's right there. Right? I don't understand why that would not work. Does this have to be in a text direct resource? Is that it? Interesting. Okay, so what if we do adding images, BB code, Godot. Button control does the draw. Wait. Nope. It's not helping me. Oh, because we need loaded? Here, can I add an icon to a label or rich text label? Add image would do the job. Just remember that it requires a texture and not a picture. Ah, okay. Well, that's good to know. Let's go ahead and try that. So first off, let's save this. And we'll save it up one. And so this will be our rich text Why? Why? Okay. Let's just do that. Okay, and then I want to add a texture rect right there, and then we'll see if I go into this, can I put this as the texture? Cool. Okay, so that much works. Now what we need to do, okay. I do definitely wish it was centered, and I bet you I could do that, but. Abort stream! Such Godot, much wow. But yeah, so this is crazy because, like, I'm glad you brought this up because I'm sure there's some more magic with these other I don't know what a large texture does. I would love to just kind of get in these. I think I can imagine what a gradient texture does and stuff like that, but a curve texture. So I'd love to figure those out. But anyway, this one is actually, you can imagine where this would be useful, and it's particularly useful making those tile maps because you can make animated tile maps like the water, doing it this way, which is really cool, and it's super duper easy, obviously. Okay, so we've got this texture rect, and probably want this to go a little faster, but I'm not gonna fuss with that right now. So I guess if we save this, I'm sorry, I want to save this as new scene. So File, Save Branch as Scene. And I'll save this in same place here. So save this as Fire Texture Rect, like that. Now, if I go here and then go to BB code, let this be a curly bracket, and then now can I do this? Copy path, paste it. What do you mean it's not found, dude? Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. So that's weird. Tiny turning testing grounds. Why is it saying it's not found? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so we open up this one. So it's still saying it's not found. I don't understand. Why is it saying it's not found? Resource file not found. It should say, like, that's not a resource, right? Adds an image's opening and closing tags to the tag stack object, providing a width and height to resize the image. That seems like super weird. Does it not? Like, it's saying it right there. There's the path. It clearly exists right there, and it's saying that resource file not found. Huh. Well, I would maybe. Wait, why is that one? Hold the phone. Don't tell me. Wait a second. Why is that only doing that? So that's not found either? Dude, what? What if we literally just do QA sessions? Well, here, maybe the problem was actually that this could have worked with this one. Nope, with this one. Oh, these should be in there, but any user. So maybe this could have worked. Yo, this makes no sense to me right now. Oh, is it because, why is it putting the curly brackets? It should include those curly brackets, does it not? Should it not? Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight. Okay. So that's dope as hell. That's dope as hell. Okay. So yeah, so obviously we need to do some stuff in terms of resizing that, but yeah, okay. So let me just go back to this guy's right here. Let's go edit. Oh crap, I don't remember what time in the stream it was. Well, I can do this. Okay, so it was 2:08. Solved. Yeah, around 020. Hours. Oh, okay. Anyway, I guess. I forgot to timestamp when I started. Okay. Okay. So I think that's better than what he was doing, but not by a tremendous amount, but I do think that is better. And yeah, that works. He's got an animated texture now in there, but there's got to be a way. I think you can, yeah. Okay, so let's go. No. It is image resize. Oh no. Let's actually get this where it needs to be. Oh yeah, so you can change the width height. So image. Okay, and then we can change the width and height here. So the width can be like 10 by 10. What if we only give 1? Can I do that? Nice, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, obviously there's some more work to be done with, but I think that would have to do with the actual texture. Very cool. Do you respond? Nope, that's my dentist. I thought maybe he responded and hit me up on my thing there, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's what you were saying nostalgically. But look, it says right there, you should be putting, like if you do image, the path should be in between the curly brackets. At resource path using width keeps ratio. So that's, so you were right, but you shouldn't have been right. I think that's a bug in Godot. And unless maybe you know something I don't. I don't use BB code that much, but that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, it's not like it's confusing or anything. It's not like a, you know. But anyway, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Except obviously you'd need to then replace that text, which I don't know exactly how he was doing, but I do think that's pretty cool. For instance, if yours writes fire, a fire replaces the text fire in RichTextLabel. I explained the docs certain image using that. It's very easily, but more complicated if you want to insert animations. After finding this hint, I came with the following. So if I do this, Can I just write in this rich text label, right? Oh, no, I see what's happening. So he's got, for instance, like, wait, can you not edit this? Oh, wouldn't it be, is it line edit? Text edit, there we go. So we'd put like a text edit, theoretically, and we would, actually, I'll put this in the rich text label, and I'll say go full rect, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll put the modulate. This is cool now. Now I'm really interested in making this. Unless, if anyone else has a question, yeah, so he's right, but he's wrong. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and make this so that if I type fire, it replaces it with fire. I've got an idea for how to do this. But yeah, because unless anyone else has a question, if you do, please go ahead and toss it and I'll dump this. But I think this is a cool idea. So if we go here, and then I just make it, I just modulate it so it's not visible, you should still be able to use it. Oh, except that could be a problem. Huh. The problem with this is that you'd have no cursor, but this would still work. So I'm just gonna do it that way because, yeah. So the idea is that we will give this a script, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll connect the signal, text edit, text changed, and I'll connect that right there. On text edit, text change, and then I'll say on ready var, text edit equals text edit, okay? And then here we'll say text equals text, oopsies, text edit dot text, okay? So this will get us the text here, and then all we need to do is search. Well, first off, we should say down here, we'll say self, well, no, but BB code text equals text. I think there was like, so if we go to rich text label, it is advised to use the plus equals operator with BB code text. Plus equals some string, as it replaces the whole text and can cause slowdowns. Use append BB code for adding text. Is it unadvised to use that? Okay, that's fine. For adding text, unless you absolutely need to close a tag that was opened in an earlier method call. Okay, fine. So anytime we change this, essentially what we're going to do, yeah, I think we can fix the other part too, but we're gonna say the BB code text to equal our text, right? So just to get a proof of concept here. So if I click this and I write, so it looks like, so I can say hello. Cool, so that looks, that's working wonderfully so far. So essentially what's happening is we're writing in this text edit, but it looks like we're writing in this rich text label. Yeah, and so now what we can do is set like a filter. We can see if what we're doing is writing, if we write the word fire, we can then replace that part in the text with that. So I think we can go text dot find, can you go like replace? Yeah, you would do this better. What, we would say fire, and then we would say with, we go here, the BB code, right there, with that, okay? And then now if I run this, I should be able to say, hi, this food is fire. No, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Does replace not work in, okay. F, is that string? Okay, replace. Replaces occurrence of a case substring with the given one. Oh, does it return a string? Do I have to do, let's do print this, because is it returning the whole thing here? Oh, okay, yeah, so then all we need to do is just say that. Text equals that. That's weird. You'd think this would do it in place, but I guess not. Okay. Yay! There we go, okay. This food is fire. Okay. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. So shout out to this dude. Matt Merda for putting this one out there. Yo no creo que él es de España, pero el nombre suene como español, un poco. Very cool. So I'm super down for that. And then in case, I asked the question a while back, for example, for a for loop, but no hurry. Oh, is it in the, yeah, let's get to that, dude. Let's do that right now. Let's do that so that way it looks like that's where you'd start writing. Oh, we can also do that. Text equals to intersect plus space that. Okay. Okay. All right. That's cool. So anyway, that makes it almost, doesn't quite work, right? But that allows us to kind of have like a little, whatchamacallit here? What do you, I don't know. Anyway, cool. All right, so anyway, that's that. I think that's really cool. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and push that to GitHub. That's cool, it shows the GIF in GitHub. Fire. And this is Motmerda. _ Motmerda. Okay, give it to me. All right, so Harpuya. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Let's say, okay, so we're gonna do for loop, and then this is at 2 hours, 19 minutes. At 2:19. Okay, cool. So we're starting the for loop. Let me go see. So, Harpuya, did you ask that? Oh, you so right, dog! You are so right. I could just make that, like, that would be a really easy thing to do. The other thing I was just thinking about was putting a physics process, but that is much better, because if you had to replace the BB code text every physics process, well, one, that would ruin this, actually, but, yeah. Anywhooser. Cool. There's lots of ways to do that, but the way you just said, I think, is the easiest. Or at least, almost certainly the most performant, probably one of the easiest ones. Okay, so, yeah, so you said it was in here. So way back? Ah, okay. No. This is your first question. I don't know. Where's a for loop? Can you link me to that question? The question is in the chat. Oh, okay. All right. Can you choose a for loop and maybe give an example of what it can be used for? Aha. Nice question, man. I'll definitely answer that. So let me actually, so I'm going to be releasing an episode of the Non-Coder's Guide for GDScript that is going to go over for loops. So this will be a nice little, I haven't even like recorded it yet, but I record lists and dictionaries. So if you understand how those work, that's one of the like most probably important ways that you can use a for loop. Let's see, I was about to use it somewhere, so I'm trying to think about like giving you a real example before I just like kind of go into hypotheticals. But like, well, one way you could use it, for instance, let's go to, what did I have here? Can I put this in there? Is that going to break anything? I'm not. All specific reference. Okay, that's cool. That should fix itself soon. Okay, what did I have in here? Was it an enemy? Was it a player? Oh, you know what? I have an example here, but we'll get into that one after. It's a little more complicated. But I had somewhere here where I was thinking about using a for loop. Anyway, so a for loop, what it does, right, and the reason it's called a loop is because it goes through something entirely. So if we say for, let's do this. So say var, and I'll make a list. So have any kind of list. And let's say that you've got, well, actually, let's call it, let's say var list equals players, I'm sorry, var players underscore in underscore in underscore game. And let's say this equals, like, I don't know, so we have Joe, well, we got to make these strings, right? Joe Schmo is one player, and we have Jonah Hill. Okay, Jonah Hill's playing with us, and then we have Smack 69. Okay, so these are the 3 players in our multiplayer lobby, let's say. All right. So then what we might want to do is if for any reason we might want to go through and check on every single thing in this list. So with a for loop, we can say for x in players in game, and then we can say print. First I'll do this. First I'll say print hi, right? And then what we can do is, so if I run this, what'll happen is you'll see it prints hi 3 times because there's 3 people in this list, and it's actually going for each list. And so what you're doing right here is the reason you're saying x is what x is you're basically declaring a variable called x that is only going to exist in here, in this case x. So we can actually print x, and what x is it's actually going into each one of these. So it's going through each player in this list, each item in this list, and what it's doing is doing one thing for that player. So for instance, we can run this, and you can see that it prints each layer on the list in its own line. So we essentially did this. It's the same thing as saying print Joe Schmo, or print, we could say print players in game 0, and then we did this 2 more times, right? Except this said 1, and then this said 2. So that's essentially what this for loop is doing. It's the exact same thing. But this is really handy because you can do like a lot of things with this that you couldn't otherwise do. So for instance, like if I had, like let's say these were scenes, right? And these were scenes of enemies, right? Let's say these were, so these don't have to be strings. These can literally be anything in a list, right? You can put, if I go to world here, and we've got these enemies here. Let's say I have like 3 different types of enemies. What I can do is spawn them in that for loop. So what I can do here, for instance, is I can do print, function underscore ready. Okay, what do I want to do? So here's another handy thing you can do. For instance, you can say for x in range 5, right? And what this will do, and we can actually go print, here if we print x, it's going to do each number. So range gives us a list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we do this, I'm sorry, 0 through 4, right? So it does that. But then what you can do is, like, if you want to do something 5 times or 10 times, you can do it this way. By doing that, is you can say, like, okay, for this, I want you to, let's just run this function actually, because what this will do is spawn an enemy. So this will spawn 5 players right when the game starts. Oopsies. There you go. Now we've got 5 players. Right? So that is just an example of some of the stuff you can do. Why is it not giving me any colors I can use? This game is a cool idea, but it just does not work very well in reality. Anyway. Oh, that'd be cool if when the enemies hit each other, they then took on the colors of the other enemy. But anyway, that's not the point. The point of this was to show what you would do with the for loops, right? And yeah, so there's one thing you can do. If you use ranges, you can do something a certain number of times. If you want to do something for every member of a list, you can do that. And then what I want to do now is actually show you a real example of how I used it, and I think it might have been even the last one. Signals from code, state machine, timer, physics, prosecution. No. And I should play examples, follow the leader. Where did I do this? Let's see. Ah, okay, right in there. In Yehor. Okay, so if we go to here, I've got this kinematic body. And you can see that when I run around, I have a trail. And then if you've seen me playing my my game Solenoid, it has the same trail, similar trail like this. And so this is utilizing a for loop. So if we go into the scene here, and then I go into this trail line 2D script, what's happening is this. Oh, actually, in this one, I don't have to use a for loop. I forgot. Most people do use a for loop when you do that, because you have a list of points, and then you loop over the list of points, and you move those points to that position. But I'm actually cheating here. I forgot. This was like my cheating way of doing it. But what other people would do is you would get points, and then go for point and points, point dot position equals global position or something. So you could loop over every single point in the list and change every single point in the list in a single, bit of code. Yeah, you can totally use a random range too. That's also a really good thing that Nostalgic Bleach just said. You don't want to modify the list or dictionary or whatever you're using while you're in the for loop. And this is because, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. You kind of just need to do it and then be like, oh, I screwed up there. Actually, I mean, we can do it right now. But for instance, if you have 5 things, and for instance, if I'm in a list and I remove one of those things from the list while I'm iterating, it's called, when you're using a for loop, it's called iterating, right? You're iterating over each item in the list, and I remove one of those, it won't even get to the 4th item on the list because it subtracts 2 from the amount of items to iterate over. It's really weird. But yeah, so that's definitely don't do that. But okay, I've got one that I definitely use a for loop for, and this is my hex code jam, which I ended up not even publishing because I hated this game so much. But the way I spawn enemies is actually pretty cool. So if we go to, is it main in this game? Level, yep, level. Okay. And imagine we're spawning enemies right here. Where did I spawn enemies? Or is it in HUD? Enemies, okay. Where are we? There we go, spawn enemies. Okay, so this might be a little, so you can see I'm using 2 for loops here, for enemy and enemy stack. So before I was using X, again, you can call this whatever you want, but just know that now we've basically declared this variable, enemy, and then this represents 1 item in a stack for each time. So for each enemy in stack, enemy equals the first enemy equals enemy 0, enemy 1, enemy 2, and so on through the list. And then, so what you want to do, if you're repeating a similar action with multiple different items of the list, you can just do that in a for loop, and it does it in a single line of code rather than having to write something multiple times. So for instance here, what I'm doing is, so if we have this thing called enemy stack, right? So for me, I have each level, I create how many enemies I want to spawn. So let's say I want to spawn 25 different enemies, and they all have different types in this game. There's 3 different types. You have your big heavy guys with tons of health on them, and then you have smaller enemies with less health, but they move faster, stuff like that. And so randomly at the start of each level, based upon the level that you're on, we generate a difficulty number, and based upon that difficulty number, essentially it makes a list of the number of enemies. For instance, if you're on a high level, you'll have a lot of more enemies, and you'll have a higher number of tougher enemies, the big enemies. Where on a lower level, you'll have less enemies and less of the hard enemies and more of the easy enemies, right? And so it does that like kind of dynamically, so you can theoretically go up to level 1,000,000 on this game. And so what it does is that creates a list called enemy stack, and this just has a list of all the enemies that I want to spawn. And so what we do is we say, essentially, just you can ignore this. This is like yeah, you can ignore that. So here's the else. Here's what we're doing. So for each enemy in that list of enemies to spawn, we create an instance. So this is basically just getting the scene information, right? We create an instance of that enemy that's in there. Then we put its goal position at a random place. Basically, we spawn an enemy for each enemy in that list, right? We're doing something very similar. And we did something very similar in that example with the colors, right? Yeah, sorry if this was like kind of, if I'm not doing this great. That's why I need to like, I kind of, when I do the tutorials, what I typically do is I record the video like 3 times, and then I like sit on it, and then I'm like, oh, I could have done this better, and then I record the final version. So yeah, it's handy. Also, for loops are really handy for, I'm sorry, like when you're using them with dictionaries and stuff, you can cycle through an entire dictionary. There's a lot of, I just can't believe there's not more times I use it. I think they're really, really handy. Maybe let me open up Godot code, Godot gamepad. That's it. Now plugin, I think I'm using it a lot here. Let's just open up this project. Let's just do this. No, we don't do that. It's okay. Gamepad layout. Okay. So if we go into the script here, is there a for loop? Nope. Is there really no for loop in here? There we go. Okay. So yeah, so for instance, right here, I've got a dictionary that contains, in this dictionary, right, I've got each part of the controller. We've got the left side of the controller, we've got the right side of the controller. And for instance, if I have 3 or 4 buttons on the left side, I would have the access to a list of buttons. So we'd have the A button, B button, and C button. Let's say, or A, B, Y buttons, right? And you go this for loop, and we basically iterate over each button in that loop, and then we get information about each button in that. Here, what we're doing is, oh, here's another really handy thing. This is actually code that you can use directly in your game. Is like, if I want to clear something, I'll say for child in like some get children, right? Get children returns a list of references to all the nodes of some children, of some node, I mean. And so for child in layout.getChildren, child.free, what this does is it removes every single child of that node. So it clears all of its children without deleting the node itself. So that's another really handy way that you can use for loops. Yeah, and this one, what it does is it goes through for button in layout.get buttons, right? And each one returns a dictionary. Then we check, like I can check the button type. If the button type is an action button, then we spawn an action button. If the button type is, something else, a different type of button, then we spawn that type of button. So there's like, tons of different ways you can do that. And yeah, really, really handy to understand those. And I think it really takes your programming up considerably. All right, if anyone else has any live questions, please submit them. I'm gonna take another few looks around here, but I'm starting to get a little hungry. My dogs need to go out, and just tired in general. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, but that was very cool. I'm really glad I did this one because that was really, really cool. I'm gonna vote this up. I think it's a cool question. Okay, so sort by help. Why it don't working? Oh, I don't even want to mess with the platforms. Okay. Error with timer targeting using mouse action. Error with timer targeting using mouse action. I have a method that fires a ray. When that ray intersects the correct collider, it'll do something interesting. Rays are expensive. I don't think they are. And so I only want to fire one ray every few seconds. So I'm using a timer to fire that array every second if timer is on is true. This works as intended. When I press the debug select button, it selects the correct position I want it to select it. Therefore, I don't want to do all that. Make a cylinder grid. How to recreate the whole mechanic of Donut Country. Maybe we'll go back to this. Actually, let's drop Reddit and let's go to this. Everything moves and I modify the window. Okay, all these have answers. Blur effect gradation. What does this error mean? Interesting. Okay. Error when game is exported. Error condition if it's true. Can an instance script get the current scene name? Let's see if someone already posted this. Yep. That's the answer. Sprite flip horizontally. I am potato with programming. Right, can add the code to current demo project. Yeah, I don't want to help people just copy and paste other people's code until you need to learn how to code if you want to make games. It's you know, it's a waste of your time and mine to just copy and paste other people's code. Not if you code and then you copy and paste some bit into your code, that's one thing. But if you don't know how to code at all, and your entire game is just taking other people's work and sticking it together until it looks something like a game, I don't think so. Can the main viewport be disabled in GDScript? That's an interesting question. Get the world coordinates of getUsedRect for isometric tile map. This is an age-old question. Basically, how do you get? Yeah, it's like impossible. But how do you get the location of a tile on a tile map specifically? But yeah, how can I make a mobile game? 3D spawn players on coordinates. How to use A-star without tile map. How to position bones. Sprite flip horizontally. Get the world coordinates. Get the main viewport scenario. Why is this area signal not detecting my mouse events? Collision shape an area to voxels. I create an area will generate faces and create a signal. Detect mouse area. Okay. I mean, yeah, let's not show the Godot community how to make asset flips. Yeah, man. Yep. Why mesh.create time shape? That's in-app purchasing. Oh, wait, what? There's in-app purchasing now? I mean, a new iOS plugin for in-app purchasing. Previously in Godot 3.2.3, everything worked perfectly. Now the plugin, if I call purchase, it returns an error. That is sick. I did not know that. Let's do purchase. Yeah, I don't think there's a Godot in. Wait, this is in this? Godot offers a first-party Godot Google Play. Is this new? Oh, Android plugin only. The new plugin uses the Google Play billing. So that's cool. That is good to know. I should probably figure that out, but I just don't really see a point if it's not for iOS. But anyway. All right, well, you know what? I'm not finding anything. I feel like I need to do one more. Let's go to the questions. Let's just scroll a little longer. Scroll a little longer. Okay. How do I get the shape index? How do you get the shape index in the Area 2D from the shape RID? I noticed that there isn't a way to get shape indices from an Area 2D, even using the physics server. Is there any way to figure out which index a shape is assigned to? I figured out that using area get shape, I can loop through the indices. I think that's 3D. Who writes this? Can you load an external JPEG or PNG file? Oh yeah, that's super easy. Okay, line edit question. This is not a question. I think a Hotline Miami Game 3 with Retro 3D, and I want to add a similar AM offset like path, but if they hear a noise, they see the player, they run towards him. 9. Or shoot if ranged. However, if they lose track of the player, they go back. Yeah, this is a... Hello, good day. I am trying to insert characters in Spanish for returning the hip. Yeah, I'm trying to insert characters in Spanish for return them in a hip of text. Una cadena is the hip. Oh, it's the chain. Yeah, that's cadera is hip. Okay. Of text, but I can't find the form of, oh, I don't know that in GDScript. I'm going to insert characters in Spanish to return them to the chain. Whether it can be more specific, like include some of the problem. Let's see, I can't find the form. In GDScript. Interesting. Anyway, I'm making a Google Maps kind of app in Godot. Do you know if text rect accept float in rect position, or is it just int? Seems like I can't quite match the tiles in. Interesting. Have you tried just using, no, I guess you couldn't use a tile map. There was something I was considering making something like that, so let's see. Okay, so, you know if text rect accepts floats in rect position, I mean, we can figure that out pretty quick, right? But I think it does in rect position. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure it accepts floats. Yeah, because I do know that, like for instance, if you have it in like a grid container or something like that, I think he's talking about, so yeah, I know what you're about to allude to, which is like there's something in project settings that you can turn on that's supposed to fix like small 1 pixel gaps that happen. But I think what he's probably talking about is like if you put any kind of container node, like for instance, let's just add a control here, and then we add a, oh, you can't make full recs though, so just delete that. So if you add a hbox container here, and then we go, just make this like this, and then we add to this a color rect, and then let's make this red rect, and we'll go min size, and the X is 200. Okay, and then if we add several of these, even if we have the separation at 0, I don't think you can put this at -1. Oh, you can. Well, that works. What if you do -0.5? Is that gonna work? No, that keeps the -1. So that works pretty well, actually. That's good to know. Interesting. Well, now it works perfectly if I went back down and up to 0. In the zoomed out, sometimes there are 1 pixel gap, yes, when zoomed in, the texture rect size becomes huge, but the position needs to be precise to properly match the tiles. Oh yeah, I don't know if that's what you're doing. I'm sorry. This is for the separation. I don't know if you're using like some kind of grid container or something like that. The other thing that he might be talking about, which I forgot exactly where it is, but if you go into your project settings, oh God, there's like some setting that's made for that. That's made because sometimes if you zoom out too much, it starts revealing like 1 pixel gaps in the tiles. Dude, also definitely link me to that in your, or I mean, maybe if you want to do it privately because you don't trust people, I would really be interested to see that project. I think that's so cool. But, oh, I think, okay, so it's in rendering maybe? Might be in rendering. Is it environment? No. Batching, options, parameters, lights, debug, position, quality, shadow, shadow atlas, shadows, reflections, shading. Maybe it was force vertex shading. Filters, use nearest map filter maybe. I'm thinking it's gonna like come to me when I see it, but it totally could not. It might, no. Use NVIDIA rect flicker workaround. There we go, that's it. Use GPU pixel snap, that's what it is. Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, all right, so I think you should try this first. So go to, well, I don't know, maybe this does it too, but this is what people suggest. Use the GPU pixel snap, and that is specifically for when it's not a problem with the CPU. So it's not a problem in actually spacing it, but when you zoom out, if there is like some gaps that you see, this will fix that. So try that too. You might actually just want to have that on just for funsies. And yeah. You also probably want to enable low processor usage mode if you haven't already, just based on like what kind of app you're talking about. Okay, but that's about it, you guys. I am going to do my best to, well here, let's do this. So QA, oh wait, why is this? Oh, okay, cool. All right. So I'm gonna do my best to go ahead and get this labeled here. So if anybody is watching this post-tense, or if you wanna come back and look at something, that you'll be able to just skip to that right away, because otherwise these aren't really useful after publishing. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for participating, making this enjoyable for me, and hopefully this was helpful for you. So with that, code on and have a great day.